So, I don't want to be one of those people that just, jumps on the bandwagon and starts kind of hating on stuff. I really don't want to be one of those people, but I had a lot of problems with John Wick 3, and I haven't seen many of them been brought up, and the film is currently on 90% or 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, I think, with an audience score of around the same. And I find that kind of bizarre, because this film has a lot of very serious and quite glaring issues that no one's really spoke about. I love the first two John Wick films. I think they are brilliant films, and they're just great action films, along with stuff like Mission Impossible, which in recent years has definitely leaped a lot higher in quality, in my opinion. But no, the John Wick films have always been great films to sit down if you just want to see some gory action and a guy just going for it, and some great, perfectly crafted action scenes that you could tell were directed by the stunt coordinators from The Matrix. And I think they're just such interesting films with their great character and world building, and this character of John Wick that has become so iconic in the past 5 to 6 years, and I think it's amazing how iconic this character has become, knowing that he's quite a unoriginal character idea, but everyone loves it and everyone is obsessed with the idea of John Wick, and I think that's great that a film has been able to do that. Let's talk about John Wick 3. Like, this film, the first 30 to 45 minutes of this film are insane. It's so good. Like, the fight scenes are so intense, and there's some of the best fight scenes in the entire John Wick franchise. The thing is that in this part of the film, he doesn't have a gun, so it's kind of just John Wick left to his kind of like own skill, and you really get to see a side of John Wick you haven't really seen before, and I think that's brilliant. Like, I think it's just so well done in this first fight scene. The fight scene with the book and with the knives and stuff is just so intense, and it's so great and so over the top and brilliant, and I love that. That's what you want to go see from John Wick from. But then where does the film go from there? It's got a big issue, because it goes off into this really weird, shitty subplot that just came out of nowhere, and you could take out the film and there would literally be no difference, in my opinion, apart from that the end would obviously not make much sense with what happened. But the subplot did not need to be in the film at all, and I was going into this film thinking that this would be John Wick in a city for 2 hours, surviving the best that he could, just absolutely going for it to survive, maybe trying to find a part of himself again to reconnect with everything that has happened to him. But you don't get that. You get John Wick going off to a desert, and it just feels so wrong. I'm going to go into some spoilery stuff here, so if you don't want to carry on watching, then that's fair enough. This point where he goes off into the desert and he meets Halle Berry's character is just so unneeded, and it was a pointless addition for Halle Berry to be in the film, in my opinion, because where's he go, like Casablanca? He goes to some desert place, and I forgot the actual location, and it's some weird shit where he goes into desert and he has to like look till when he can't carry on walking, and then he'll find the guy that he's looking for. Some random ass guy that we've only just been introduced to, that is apparently the top of the high table, and the ultimate guy that we don't know anything about. Okay, cool. Don't get how we're meant to care for this character or even find him cool if we know, and this is the first time we've heard of him. But it just felt like such a departure from the previous films that I just couldn't connect to it. And John Wick's motives here are so out of character. He goes here to basically become an assassin again, which is what he's been trying to get so far away from for the past two films, and he keeps sadly getting dragged back into it. So what do you do with John Wick here? You make him out of nowhere just go, yeah, I want to be an assassin again, because, you know, maybe I've got to live on, and, you know, I've got to live on my wife's memory and stuff like that. It's just like, that is such a shit reason to go back into it. That is so lazy. I don't think I've ever... That's so lazy, okay? Like, why? Why that? Why do this? Why do a complete 180 on John Wick's character and his motives as a person? Like, it makes no sense to me. But then it gets to the final act of the film, and he's talking to Winston, and he's just like... Winston basically convinces him to do another 180 and be like, yeah, I don't want to be an assassin. What's the point? And at that point, I was like, yeah, this is what John Wick should have been thinking the entire film anyway. Why did he have this first point where he wanted to become an assassin again? It makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense to me. But yeah, he whatever. Winston convinces him, which is so stupid. Makes no sense to me, because if you're going to go with this really shit 180 on his character, at least stick with it at this point. Like, you can't just throw his character back and forth and slam him against 15 walls to try and make him back to who he was before. You fucked his character now. He's dead. Okay? The original John Wick is dead now. We've lost him, boys. I feel like the director felt like what made the first two films good was that John Wick killed people. So in this film they decided to overdo it until there was nothing left. Yeah, this film has too much John Wick, if that's even possible. I feel like it's just him killing people all the time, and the director's like, yeah, this is what people want, right? John Wick just murdering people all the time. Just like, well, I guess they kind of do, but we want to see some character development in there. We want to see what everyone loves so much about John Wick is Keanu Reeves. That's what makes John Wick John Wick. And then you just make John Wick just a killer machine instead of an actual human being. Then you kind of take away from what people like so much about John Wick, I think. I felt like this film definitely should have been the conclusion. If you don't know already, it's not the conclusion. It definitely sets up for another film, which I think is really stupid, because there didn't need to be another film. In some ways, I want to see more, because I just really enjoy the character, and I enjoy the films and the action that the films provide. But I just feel like at this point I'm a bit lost in caring for the character of John Wick, if that makes sense. Okay, so the villain of this film was pure trash. She was trash tier. Well, I wouldn't say there was no actual real villain of this film. The villain was the High Table, which you don't properly get to see. You just get to see the High Table's bitch go around and like be a messenger, basically. And she acts like a year 7 girl that didn't get away, telling people, you know, you've done something wrong, fuck off. It's just like, okay, who are you again? She wasn't threatening, she did nothing. There was nothing there for me. And then there's a twist at the end that Winston was basically just, he tries to kill John Wick because he wants the High Table. And it's just a bit like, okay. This makes no sense for Winston's character either. I feel like this was just really out of character for him as well. Like, yeah, he makes John Wick excommunicado, but he could have straight up killed him right there on the spot, but he doesn't. Like, Winston's always had some sort of, like, he's cared for John Wick, I think, and then this film kind of just shits all over that a little bit, and shits all over their relationship that they've had, history-wise and in the two films. So I felt like, again, if I went back and watched the first two films, I would not care about this relationship anymore. But yeah, the twist at the end was unoriginal and unpredictable, but not in a good way. It just feels like this whole thing with Winston's going on for too long. You've just actually, like, ruined a relationship that you've built over 3 films, and it's just pointless now. This is a pointless thing. It's going to go on for too long if they drag it out. And why did the ninja guys all, like, worship John Wick? Why were they, like, #1 fanboys of John Wick? I felt like this was weird. Like, you can't have some gigantic fight scene at the end where the bad guy that's trying to kill John Wick actually loves John Wick and would probably, you know, hit it off with John Wick if John Wick swung that way. But I don't know. It was weird. It was really weird. Like, this whole ninja thing it didn't work. They all fancied John Wick, and it was just a bit fucking shit. I also felt like the action scenes were a bit of a downgrade, apart from obviously the first 45 minutes, which were just insane and like, I was sat there with my friend, and me and him were just oohing and ahhing the entire time watching this, and those action scenes at the beginning were amazing. Why was the action scenes at the end of the film so poor compared to the others, or was that just me? I don't know. Overall, this film had pretty bad pacing. The characters all had terrible motives, and it was a bit of a letdown. I was really looking forward to this film from all the reviews and all the positive things I've heard about it, but this film has serious problems that no one's really talking about, and I don't know, I just feel like people should be kind of acknowledging some of this stuff instead of just ignoring it for fight scenes and shooting and stuff like that. Overall, I'd give this film maybe like a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, where I'd give the first films like 8, 9. I really hope they do something good with the fourth film, but I'm not excited to see it, because I just feel like I've been a bit let down. I'd love to hear what you guys think, and yeah, comment down below, tell me if you have any ideas or feelings about it too. But yeah, this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching, I really appreciate this. So this channel's kind of gonna be like an opinionated channel where I just talk about films, games, news, everything that I want to talk about really, and just let it down into video form, I guess. A lot of video essays, stuff like that. This was a really fun video to film, I think, and I'm having a lot of fun with this. But yeah, no, that's basically it from this channel. Like, I just want to just have a bit of fun, talk about films, games, that's just stuff that I love, really. If you're down for that, then tell me. Check out my other channel where, you know, I post funny gaming videos and have a bit of a laugh with my friends and stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah, peace, guys.
Because I'm doing this for the thrill of it.